leader in Los Angeles is wanted on federal RICO charges. Authorities say Eugene Henley Jr., known as Big U, ran a criminal enterprise that committed a series of racketeering crimes, including extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and the 2021 murder of an aspiring rapper.
And like I said, if he got a problem, I got a problem. And if I got a problem, he definitely gonna have a problem.
And so the sick society produces abnormalities. And street organizations, gangs, are those abnormalities. And so when we go out and shoot another brother or sister or an innocent, it's the hate.
Oh, you better sit down for this one, because we're about to peel back the curtain on a sinister plot that dates all the way back to 1983. And guess who's at the center of it? Big U. Yep, that Big U. Turns out the man was allegedly planning to take out one of the most terrifying street legends to ever walk the pavement, Monster Kody. That's not some nickname he gave himself to sound tough. No, this name was earned with blood, fists, and sheer savagery. We already know Big U has a criminal rap sheet that reads like a Netflix crime series. Extortion, robbery, intimidation, you name it. But even all that doesn't put him on the same level as Senyika Shakur, better known as Monster Kody. Kody wasn't just a monster in name. He was the kind of monster who left bodies and chaos in his wake. We're talking about someone who chased a man down, beat him so badly that the cops literally said, only a monster could have done this. Yeah, that kind of monster. So if Big U wanted to climb the gangster hierarchy, there was only one way to do it: take out the king. And rumor has it that's exactly what he plotted to do.
Name came from a beating that I had given the guy. We had robbed him.
Okay.
And the dude hit me in the face, and then we chased him and beat him and stomped him and disfigured him. And the pigs, police, were saying that whoever had did this to this.
Let's be clear, Big U was no choir boy himself. People feared him for a reason. Diss him in a track, he'll come for you. Say his name wrong in the streets, you might just disappear. He built his name through fear, manipulation, and violence. But Kody was already legendary by the time Big U was still earning stripes. While Big U was busy stacking up threats and shady deals, Monster Kody was already a full-blown nightmare roaming the streets of LA. Kody didn't just fight in gang wars, he defined them. He wasn't some petty street soldier, he was a general on the battlefield, leading the 8 Trey Crips against the Rolling 60S like it was urban warfare. And yes, he sided with the Crips, but don't get it twisted, he wasn't loyal to anything but the game itself.
This particular country and this culture puts so little value on our lives that we begin to devalue our lives. And so it's nothing for me to kill you, because I don't care.
And the man who lit that fire under Kody? None other than Stanley Tookie Williams. Yes, the co-founder of the Crips. Kody wasn't just watching greatness, he was raised by it. He soaked in Tookie's strength, routines, and raw street philosophy like a sponge. But even Tookie would later write in his memoirs that mentoring Kody was his biggest regret. Why? Because he didn't just raise a gangster, he unleashed a full-blown monster on the streets of LA.
The Crips at age 11 on the day he graduated from the 6th grade. That night, he says he was given a shotgun, and for his initiation, he pumped 8 rounds into the ranks of a...
Kody went full throttle the second he joined the 8 Trey Crips. No hesitation, he was out hunting rival gangs before he even finished puberty. His weapon of choice, a sawed-off shotgun. His orders, empty it into the Bloods, no mercy. By 1978, Kody was infamous. People didn't cross him. His own crew feared him. Imagine being so savage that you shoot a fast food worker just for disrespecting your brother. That's the level of unhinged we're talking about. His violence wasn't just notorious, it was terrifying. And when he got arrested, that's when all hell broke loose. A fistfight spiraled into a bloodbath between the 8 Trey Crips and the Rolling 60S. One shooting, Tyrone, Big Rick's younger brother, set off a chain reaction that turned old friends into mortal enemies. And Monster Kody? Oh, he dove headfirst into that war like a man possessed. From market runs to hospital drives, every moment of Kody's life became a war zone. One minute he's visiting his newborn kid in the hospital, the next, he's lighting up a Rolling 60S member without flinching. And y'all thought your errands were stressful. The most chilling part? The war didn't just stay in the streets. It hit homes. The Rolling 60S kidnapped a member's sister, held her hostage for 3 days. What they did to her is too horrific to even say out loud. And the retaliation? The 8 Trays mutilated a Rolling 60S member and kept his arms as trophies.
He brought somebody's arm. He brought somebody's arm back to a meeting. And that was Jay Blake's arm.
You mean to tell me that story is real?
Yes, that was Jay Blake's arm. It was real. He did bring an arm back. They chopped him up and put him in front of Jefferson High School.
You want horror? You want street warfare that makes even Hollywood blush? That was Kody's world, and he ruled it. But even monsters bleed, and by the end of 1980, the 60s got the drop on him. Kody got ambushed, lit up with multiple bullets, and somehow survived. But the cops were waiting. The moment he got patched up, he was back in cuffs, slapped with charges from his many street shootouts. Sure, he fought those charges, got out, but it didn't last. Prison came knocking again. Only this time, something strange happened. Kody changed. While behind bars, he started reading Malcolm X, the Black Panthers. His mind started opening to new truths. The same man who once hunted rivals with a shotgun was now chasing enlightenment with a pen.
Any respect to allegiance for the city of Los Angeles, the state of California, the United States of America?
Not one iota. I'm not even a citizen of America. I'm a citizen of the People's Republic of New Africa. And no, I don't. America is, no.
He left the 8 trays and joined the Republic of New Africa. This wasn't some PR move. Kody meant it. He was no longer about street beefs. He was about systemic injustice. And when the Rodney King riots erupted in 1992, Kody was in the thick of it, on the front lines. Yeah, he got locked up again. But that prison time, that's when he became more than just a gangster. He became a voice, a storyteller, a revolutionary. His autobiography, Monster, dropped in 1993. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a book, it was a warning. A truth bomb, a map of trauma. He followed that up with more books, Thug Life, and Stand Up, Struggle Forward, blending revolutionary thought with raw, unfiltered street pain. But while Kody was growing, evolving, becoming a better version of himself, Big U, he was getting worse. While Monster Kody was evolving behind bars, writing, reflecting, and rising into someone the world could learn from, Big U was stuck in the same cycle of chaos and crime. See, Big U never really left the streets. Yeah, he dipped into the music business pretending to clean up. He launched his own label, Big U Enterprises. But behind the scenes, the streets whispered louder, and those whispers painted a dark picture. We now know, thanks to a whistleblower, that Big U wasn't just trying to rise through the gang ranks by flexing his muscle or pushing mixtapes. No, allegedly he was plotting something far more disturbing. He wanted Monster Kody gone, erased, wiped from the streets, silenced before he could tell his story, and not in the we beefing on the block way. This was a calculated mafia-style hit planned all the way back in the 80s. Let that sink in. While Kody was being ambushed, getting shot, healing in a hospital, then being dragged to prison and trying to change his life, Big U was scheming in the background. Plotting, waiting, watching, ready to strike. And what makes it even more chilling? The timing. Kody was already leaving the gang life. He was stepping away from the battlefield, but for Big U, that didn't matter. If anything, that was the perfect moment to take him out. Vulnerable, distracted, alone. Big U saw an opportunity, and according to the whistleblower, he was ready to pounce.
I'd say he's also a longtime leader of the Rollin' 60s Crips street gang, and now he's in custody for racketeering crimes that include the murder of rapper Rayshawn.
Because behind that whole label boss image, Big U allegedly kept the dirtiest jobs for his associates, members of the Rolling 60s who were still very much active in the streets. He kept his own hands clean while his crew did the damage. Monster Kody tried to walk away from the bloodshed. Big U, he just made the bloodshed look corporate. And now that Big U's trial is in full swing, the receipts are starting to drop. We're talking extortion, racketeering, robbery, and even murder. And not just random murder, Big U is being accused of orchestrating the death of a rapper on his own label. Let that sink in. A rapper signed to his brand was allegedly killed by the very man meant to protect his career. If that's not a red flag, what is? Now layer that with his old plot to eliminate Monster Kody, and you realize just how deep Big U's criminal ambitions may have gone. The idea that someone like Big U would even dare go after someone like Kody, it's mind-blowing. Because let's not forget, this was a man who cut off a rival's arms and kept them like souvenirs, a man who survived multiple shootings, who once fired off shots on the way home from the hospital with his newborn baby in the backseat. Big U must known he couldn't match Kody in a street war. He had to go behind the curtain. He had to plot. And that's exactly what makes this all so disturbing. Monster Kody represented something terrifying, yes, but also real, raw, untouchable. He didn't just create fear, he embodied it. Big U, he tried to hijack that image, but instead of earning it, he allegedly tried to steal it by taking Kody out of the game entirely. But here's the kicker. He failed. Despite all the plotting, despite all the noise, despite being shot, imprisoned, and targeted, Monster Kody survived. And he didn't just survive, he thrived. He left the gang, he wrote bestsellers, he inspired generations of activist students and even former gang members to think deeper, reflect harder, and change. Kody died in 2021 from a stroke while living in a homeless encampment. It was a tragic end to a complex life, but make no mistake, he died on his own terms. Not in a drive-by, not in a gang ambush, not at the hands of someone like Big U. And thank God for that, because had Big U succeeded with his alleged plan in the ADS, the world would have lost one of the most raw, honest voices to ever speak on gang life. We wouldn't have Monster, we wouldn't have Thug Life, we would have Stand Up, Struggle Forward. We would have had silence. Just another dead gangster with no story, no voice, no lessons. And Big U, he'd probably still be pretending to be a businessman while orchestrating violence from the shadows. The truth is, Big U's story is a warning of what happens when someone tries to hijack power without earning respect. A man who built his entire identity on fear, threats, and manipulation without ever learning how to transform. And as his criminal trial continues, the skeletons just keep falling out of the closet. More RICO violations, more extortion scandals, and now this alleged decades-old murder plot. It's clear Big U has always wanted to be the most feared, the top boss, the kingpin, but Monster Kody, he already was. And no amount of plotting could take that away from him. So what do we make of it all? Kody left a legacy. One that's complicated, one that's brutal, but one that evolved. Big U, he might be leaving a legacy too, but it's one headed straight for a prison cell. And while Kody's name still sparks fear, respect, and awe in the streets, Big U's name is slowly becoming synonymous with betrayal, manipulation, and failure. Because at the end of the day, if you try to take out a monster, you better be ready to become one. And Big U, he tried, but in the end, he was never big enough.